In the late 80s, we were looking for a replacement for me because I was really burned out at that point. When we finally decided on Dan Wagner to come and take the company over, in the middle of all this, Robin Howard lost the chairmanship of the Contemporary Dance Trust. We went to a board meeting, and Robin said that he was going to go out of the room and put the chairmanship up for discussion, that if he would not be the chairman, the board should decide. The moment Robin left the room, I was shown a piece of paper by one of the members of the board and said, well, we really only have to decide who's going to be the next chairman because we know that you would not agree to Robin's giving up the chairmanship, but these are the people who would agree. It was all agreed in advance that Robin would be forced out of the position of the company he started. I think the Arts Council had a hand in it. I think the Arts Council at the time told the board that Robin had to leave or they would not continue the support. And I think all this was because they felt that Robin was empire building, and they ignored the fact that he had poured in his entire personal fortune into the company. I was always angry with the Arts Council because they gave us increases in our grant in direct proportion to the money that Robin was losing. So as he used his own money, he sold his Shakespeare portfolios, he sold his Rodin statues. He finally had to mortgage his house in order to support the company. And this was a man who started out with 5 restaurants and quite a bit of money. And I thought this was the last straw, that the Arts Council was acting in an irresponsible, immoral way. And I wanted definitely out of the whole organization. I wanted to leave England. Robin tried to make the best of it for a year and a half, and he unfortunately had a stroke soon after and died. When Dan Wagner left the company, there followed a long period where we were trying to find an artistic director who could carry the company on in the way it had been in the past. And several came and left, and in between I came back as artistic advisor and actually took the company on tour and tried to keep it together. But it was very clear to everybody my heart was not in it. The dancers had begun to change. They were not the people that I had trained, and I was no longer teaching them. But I felt very strongly that there was a place and a room for a repertory company performing in the big theaters besides Rambert. And we had an audience that had been built up over the years very carefully, and I felt it was wrong to let them down as well. In the end, the Arts Council, in what I suppose was their wisdom, decided to close London Contemporary Dance Theatre. No matter what proposal we brought forward, it wasn't sufficient because once they had made up their mind to close it, that was what they were going to do. It was done, I have to say, very badly, with a lot of deception, which was the only way they could do it, because in the same time, the same year that they were closing it, the dancers of the company received the Laurence Olivier Award. But they decided to put the money that we were getting into young experimental dancers and companies. Of course, I would support that entirely. During the whole time I was in England, I supported all the young choreographers that I could.